Assalamualaikum and greetings to Mr. Hidayat. My name is Adam. So today we start off the presentation with the introduction of NVIDIA. So the company background of NVIDIA is that it was founded in the early 90s by Jensen Huang in United States, California. And initially they were focusing on developing a graphic processing unit or GPU. And only recently, which is around 5 to 10 years back, they were involved in the artificial intelligence AI. And one of their flagship products involved in the industry is mainly the NVIDIA GTX H100, which is a main component of ChatGPT, and also in automotive industries. And the product is the NVIDIA Drive AGX, which is used as a autonomous driving. Now we start off with the analysis of the external forces that is affecting NVIDIA's decision making, and this is what we call as the Pastel analysis. In the political aspect, the one thing that is affecting NVIDIA the most is the sanction proposed by the United States government on the NVIDIA's product, which is the A100 and H100. What happened is that the United States government, BIS, has made a strict sanction in the export of NVIDIA products such as the A100 and H100 into China in objective to prevent the Chinese community or the Chinese government to replicate and copy the system. In response to that, what NVIDIA did is that they formulated a new system called the A800 and the H800 so that it can be exported to China. And the H800 is what believed to be used in the DeepSeek, which is a ChatGPT similar-like applications, but mainly produced by the Chinese community. While in the economic sector, China introduces the Phase 3 National Integrated Circuit Fund with the allocation of $47 billion with the encouragement of urging the locals to adapt and use chips, AI hardware or software made by the Chinese government. Not only that, they also have a futuristic goals in China where in 2030 at least 55% of local chips is produced in the China industries. This situation poses a difficult situation for foreign companies like NVIDIA to compete in the Chinese industry. In the social perspective, artificial intelligence AI has changed how the world is progressing. With the advanced technology in AI such as self-driving vehicles, visual rendering in film and gaming industries, natural language processing in questions and answer search engine, innovative solution has changed how the society interact, especially in business organizations. From 2017 to 2022, the use of AI in the business industries has increased approximately 250%, with at least one business function is being monitored or controlled by AI systems. Therefore, the ultimate concern are actually on the pressure of the labor market, where AI happens to be known that they can replace at least 300 million jobs in the future. In analyzing the NVIDIA technological environment, China has been a major factor influencing the NVIDIA technology. This is because China is investing heavily in its own tech and also wanted to produce more AI semiconductor industry with the programs such as the National Integrated Network Computing and also other government-backed program. They are able to produce the 5 nanometer microchip in the AI industries, which is significantly narrowing the gap with the TSMC, which is NVIDIA's main semiconductor producer, where NVIDIA able to produce 3 nanometer chips, and they have narrowed the gap by able to produce 5 nanometer microchip. With this specific scenario, it has encouraged the Chinese community upon creating something more innovative and be more competent in the microchip semiconductor industries, which could effectively affecting the NVIDIA GPU CUDA system, which could reduce their influence in future market. Data centers produce a lot of energy. Since 25% of NVIDIA's data centers is located in China, therefore operators in the company are facing a pressure from the Chinese government. In response to this pressure, NVIDIA has improvised its product and improved its GPU architecture, which is the Blackwell GB200s. and claimed it to be able to reduce the energy consumption by 25% in relative to the previous architecture. In legal and regulation sectors, regulators in the United States, European Union, and China are investigating that there is a potential anti-competitive practices in the production of CUDA system. For example, as of 2024, the US Department of Justice has found out that NVIDIA has allegedly abused its market dominance by penalizing customers who use other competitors' chips. That being said, it makes it difficult for customers to switch to other vendors. Since 13% of NVIDIA sales came from China market or industries, therefore, any possible tension or conflict could disrupt the business operations. To counter this issue, China must diverse its market, spread its business across all countries. This is because the demand for AI infrastructure not only limited in China, but it's actually a global phenomenon. To pursue this strategy, NVIDIA should establish a AI sovereign division unit, which is dedicated only in designing, deploying, and supporting the government or the country AI infrastructure. This unit must also directly work with the government corporations or any local enterprises upon developing a AI infrastructure. This approach is more stable. Government projects last longer, therefore it reduces risk and have a confirmed or steady income. The next strategy lies on its product development. NVIDIA's competitive advantage comes from its product called the NVIDIA's CUDA system. But because this CUDA system is closely engineered and accessible only by NVIDIA, therefore it proposes a certain risk, such as antitrust scrutiny in both United States and China. Not only that, since NVIDIA is restricted in China, local developers have started to use other alternatives, such as Khan by Huawei, which could reduce NVIDIA or CUDA system performance in the long run. With that being said, both of these situations is affecting the NVIDIA's performance, as one of them is increasing the competition and the other is restricting NVIDIA's innovation. Therefore, to counter this, NVIDIA must modify or develop a product or the CUDA system to be more open, which means NVIDIA must selectively open some of its CUDA's elements, especially at the middleware and live coding system, so that more developers can use it. NVIDIA is heavily dependent on the TSMC production, which is the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company, where 3 nanometer microchip is being produced, and also NVIDIA acquire 100% of its GPU flagship product from this TSMC. Therefore, any geopolitical tension could cause a fatal breakpoint to the NVIDIA's production, such as in 2025, where Chinese was doing a military exercise to cause a pressure to the Taiwan and also instability to the Taiwan government. Therefore, to address this issue, Taiwan can do it in two ways. And one of them is by diversifying their manufacturing plant to other companies such as Intel or Samsung. The second way is to establish new manufacturing plant of TSMC in other less riskier places. The next challenge is on the intensification of competition. The idea of having an open system could cause a cannibalization effect. When the structure of the CUDA system is being exposed and open, competitors such as AMD or Intel could leverage them by integrating it to the existing product, which could reduce CUDA's dominance in the market due to the availability of the customer to switch to a better product. To overcome this issue, NVIDIA must limit its CUDA system openness, such as NVIDIA could limit the CUDA's core performance, such as the NVLink communication and tensor core operation, and at the same time, they could also publicize the less valuable structure of the CUDA system, such as the library coding for developers to build an applications. With that being said, NVIDIA could maintain its dominance in the market while also protect its comparative advantages. Conclusively, NVIDIA's success as a multinational enterprise is strongly driven by its technology capabilities and its efficient global strategy. Even though they faces an extreme external forces from a political, economic, and legal aspect, They managed to thrive due to their strategic management decision from top-level management. With that being said, if NVIDIA able to maintain this consistency in the long run, they would definitely be the leader in the new era of AI technology. Thank you.